Now we have already discussed earlier how organisms get rid of gaseous waste like carbon dioxide or oxygen generated during photosynthesis or respiration. But there are other metabolic waste also, like nitrogenous materials. Today we will learn how these nitrogenous materials are excreted by the body. Now here you can see in the figure the main organs that help in the excretion of this nitrogenous waste are the kidneys. So here they are. These are the kidneys. The renal artery, here is the renal artery. This renal artery brings in blood, oxygenated blood together with nitrogenous waste. So here is the renal artery, and it brings along nitrogenous waste, blood with nitrogenous waste. So here I've written oxygenated blood with nitrogenous waste. The nitrogenous waste is like urea, uric acid. So here comes renal with the nitrogenous waste. Now this renal artery, the blood from here now begins to flow, get into the kidney. In the kidney, the urine formation takes place. So urine is formed. So here urine is formed, and after the urine is formed and the nitrogenous waste is removed, the blood then flows back, is taken back by the renal vein. So this is the renal vein that carries the blood back. The urine thus formed, which is produced inside the kidney, this urine that is produced inside the kidney, then flows down into the ureter, to the urinary bladder, where it is temporarily stored, and then it is thrown out of the body to the urethra. The different parts of the excretory system are the renal artery. Here is the renal artery. This is the renal artery which brings in blood. Then it flows into the kidney. Here in the kidney, the formation of urine takes place. So after the formation of urine takes place, the blood is then taken by the vein back into the body. The urine that is formed is that flows down the ureter. We have two ureter here and here, two ureter into the bladder. In the bladder, it is stored for some time, and once the bladder is full, we get the sensation to urinate, and then the urine is thrown out of the body. Let's magnify the kidney. So we've already learned that the blood first enters through the renal artery here. It's a thick renal artery. The renal artery then breaks up into branches, thinner branches. The branches then further break up into very fine arterioles, very fine arterioles. Now each of these arterioles, like here, this one arteriole here is magnified. This is what happens to each arteriole. Here is a magnification. So here is the arteriole here that we can see. Now this arteriole, the blood from the arteriole, this arteriole then enters into this glomerulus, and then we'll follow it, then it enters out, and then we will follow this. So each arteriole then enters into the structure called the nephron. This structure is called the nephron. The urine formed here flows out to the ureter and the renal vein, the blood back after having removed the nitrogenous waste. So now let's go to a very magnified view of the nephron. So here we have the artery coming in. Now the artery comes in, it sort of forms a bundle here, and this is called the glomerulus. Here we have blood plus nitrogenous waste. Now this is the artery, it comes in. Then the artery leaves, called the efferent artery. It leaves this. After the nitrogenous waste is removed, it leaves this. It then forms like a network over this entire area. It covers. Why does it cover? We will see later. It forms like a network, and then after the nitrogenous, after all the purification is done, it then joins back again here, and it leaves as the vein, as the renal vein. So again I repeat, you have the blood coming in here, it comes here, it enters into this capsule, which is called the Bowman's capsule. We'll learn more in detail. There is filtration that takes place in this. All the nitrogenous waste gets filtered. After the waste is filtered, the blood now leaves, but it does not leave the kidney. It then forms a network here over the nephron, then joins up and goes back as renal vein. Now here is a picture of the we'll see what happens to the glomerular filtration. So this is glomerular filtration. Now this is the Bowman's capsule. It's a cup-like structure that surrounds the glomerulus. Bundle of capillaries. It's here, I'm putting it here. Okay, it's a cup-like structure. Look at this. This cup-like structure which surrounds the bundle of capillaries is called the glomerulus. So the blood now enters to the arteriole, and this blood consists of many things. It consists of glucose, of course the blood, the plasma and its cells. It consists of oxygen, amino acids, and hormones, nitrogenous waste. So it has all. It has the good and the bad. Now, so as it enters in here now it is entering in. Due to high pressure, there is a high pressure created in the glomerulus, because this is very thick. This is thick, and this is very narrow. So there's a high pressure. Because of this high pressure, some of this material now enters into the Bowman's capsule. It is filtered into the Bowman's capsule. What enters into the Bowman's capsule is water, nitrogenous waste, and we need that to come out. Together with that, some good stuff like glucose, some amino acids, also filter out and enter. This is still not called the urine. This is called the filtrate. It enters, and then the blood leaves through the efferent arteriole. And now, the filtrate, this is the filtrate, it enters into the tubule. So if you see here, let's go back here. Now the filtrate has entered into this tubule. Let's go round into this tubule. The filtrate is going down, and here the arteriole has left, and as this filtrate is now moving down the tubule, many of the substances that are useful to the body are reabsorbed. So in this region, a reabsorption takes place. That is why the arteriole surrounds the tubule. So in this region you have reabsorption. A lot of water is reabsorbed, a lot of glucose, amino acids are reabsorbed back into the blood. And after whatever good is reabsorbed, then whatever remains behind is the urine. What is not needed is the urine. The urine then collects into this collecting tubule. At this point, many other nephrons are also attached. Many such nephrons are attached to this collecting tubule. Here's another systematic diagram just to make it more clear. So if you notice here, see the blood has entered. It comes here with its glucose, with all this, with blood corpuscles, with water, with salt, some useful substances. It enters in here. It moves right through the glomerulus, and at this point things are absorbed, are filtered into the Bowman's capsule, and they enter back here, go down into the tubule. And as they move into this tubule, many of the good substances are now absorbed back again into the blood. Glucose, amino acids, a large amount of water is absorbed back into the blood. And whatever is then not needed, is wasted, is then goes back into the collecting tubule, and then it forms urine. This is the urine. Let's talk something about the absorption of water. Now the amount of water absorbed depends on the amount of water present in the body. If large amount of water is present in the body, then the amount of water absorbed is less, so less urine is produced. That is why in summers, in winters, we do not sweat. So in winters, our bodies have large amount of water. And because they have a large amount of water, less water is absorbed. And less water is absorbed means less urine is produced. Less urine is produced. In summer, just the opposite happens. So in summer we sweat a lot, we lose a lot of water, sweat a lot. So if we sweat a lot, means the body has less water in it. So less water, which means now more water is absorbed by the kidney, more water absorbed by kidney. The reabsorption of water is large by the kidney. So if more water is absorbed, less urine is produced. However, the amount of urine produced also depends on the amount of minerals that are to be expelled out, excreted out of the body.